Well, here I am, sat in my driveway and also sat in my fantastic 280 SL. It's been a while since I've posted, but I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on what I found with the car and what I still need to do. So the first thing is, if you remember the first video, you will remember that she had quite a lot of stone chips and little marks around the body. Well, I've spent all winter polishing and cleaning and doing little bits of fettling, and she's come up absolutely fantastically. Not immaculate, but just really nice, good usable condition, I would say. But though from a metre away, she looks absolutely immaculate. Get close, you can see minor imperfections, but to be honest, she's a good usable classic. Mechanically, I've had a good look over. Engine, gearbox, back axle, braking system all seem really good. Only minor issues I've had the usual problems with the throttle and the little ball on the throttle linkage. I managed to manufacture a little PTFE one for that rather than buy a new one, even though they're only pounds. I manufactured a new PTFE one for that. The biggest problem I've had was the car was stalling when I went around roundabouts, and after a bit of advice, I was told to pull the strainer out of the tank. I did this, it was not a problem. Came to put it back together again and cross-threaded the strainer as I put it back in. What an absolute nightmare. So I had to then take the fuel tank out. When I got the fuel tank on the bench, I found that the actual bush that the strainer screws into was actually misaligned, and so I was always going to cross thread it. I had no alternative because it was the actual bush was off centre of the hole. So when I tried to screw it back in, it guided the filter in the wrong direction and just cross threaded it. So that ended up a bigger job. While I was at it, replaced the fuel filter and the fuel pump, and everything's perfect now. Jobs to do, and before I get to jobs to do, everything else seems really good. She drives well. A couple of little minor things, bit of corrosion on the fuses, which I sorted out. This is all from being stood in a garage for a while. Little items like that. I've serviced it, new oil, done the gearbox service as well. I'm going to do the plugs shortly, but she's running fine, to be fair, but I will do them just as a precaution. And then I think there's only one other job I'd like to do, and that's to change the front shockers. It just feels as though it's bouncing a little bit. There's a front that's open. Perhaps I've got a bit of a problem there, but I'm going to change those as well as a precaution. It's just not quite as smooth as it should be, I don't think, but it starts, stops, goes really well. I'm delighted. One other thing I've noticed, when I bought it, I had no idea what condition the roof was in. I've subsequently obviously taken the hardtop off and found the roof is in nearly mint condition. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm absolutely delighted. I think for the money I've paid, I couldn't have got one much better. So I'm absolutely delighted overall. And then the bonus is it didn't come with much paperwork. So I did a Google search on the old owner to find out where they lived, and a bit of a Facebook search, and found them. And the actual owner, previous owner, comes from Brighton, and he's a chap called Pierre Tubbs, and he is a sort of semi-famous, I suppose, music producer, songwriter. Had a few big hits, mainly in the 70s. And just wait while the plane goes overhead. And so I sent him a nice letter, and his wife returned with a phone call. He told me all about the car. He bought it for her as a 50th birthday present in the 90s, and they'd had it ever since. And it's only their age now that has meant they're basically downsizing to just a sort of average, sort of smaller car. But they've used it, driven all around France in it, had a great time. Absolutely love the car. They tell me the roof was replaced in about 2015 or something like that, because it got vandalised. So yeah, I think absolutely really sounded a lovely person, and gave me a lot of history of the car. I was hoping she'd send me a few photographs as well, but hopefully, maybe she will do in the future. Other than that, everything's great. I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled, and I'm hoping to go on holiday this year. You know, we have a little place in Wales that I'm going to go and visit, and my wife will go in the normal car, and I'll toddle on behind in the SL. And hopefully, if we get days like this, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Also, I've signed up for Limb Transport Day, which is Limb Historic Transport Day, which is a little event for classic cars and vehicles quite close to where I live. And so I'll be showing her off there. I'll be parking her up in the field, and people can wander around and have a look at her and ask me questions, I suppose, and do all those sorts of things. So that'll be great. I'll try and do a video from there. Yeah, it should be quite an interesting summer driving around in the SL. Yeah, so I'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching, and got any questions about those little jobs I did, feel free to ask. But so far, I'm absolutely delighted. So that's it, signing out. Speak to you soon.